We can play the Promethean Princess, and I actually think it's quite good, but I have some concerns. Promethean Princess is a very strong card that likes to stay in the graveyard, so it plays well around board breakers like Evenly, Dark Ruler and so on. But before I yap even more, let me show you how we make her. Don't worry, it's quite simple. You just play the normal Yubel combo up until this point where you have Skirma in hand after resolving Nightmare Pain, Spirit and Nightmare Throne. We link away Terror Incarnate and the Yubel into Yama. Yama will then add us, of course, like always, the best doggy Shavara. Until we reach a certain point, the combo actually doesn't change that much. We special summon Skirma using his own effect and then we link away Yama and Skirma into Rage. Now after that we just activate Skirma's effect in the graveyard to reborn one Spirit of Yubel. Our best doggy now has a target in form of Spirit and we immediately pop her with Shavara. Now we activate Spirit of Yubel, and one major difference in comparison to the other combo I made post Legacy of Destruction is that we now have to use the Yama in the graveyard, otherwise we won't have enough materials. But I do think maybe the trade-off is worth it. We activate Yama as Chaining 2 to reborn the Yubel, and the Spirit will then get us the second Yubel on board from the deck. If you have wondered how we can utilize the Promethean Princess correctly, well, Shavara is a fire monster, but we are fiend locked, right? How exactly can we access the Promethean Princess now? I'm happy to tell you that for whatever reason the Promethean Princess is actually a fiend monster, so we can just link away Shavara and Rage into Promethean Princess. Now we can activate Shavara to set us one chamber to get the Rage back on field in the opponent's turn. So we basically go from a fiend lock into a fire lock. We have to take care of that first. We activate Princess effect to reborn Shavara. And now we link away Shavara and Promethean Princess into Ambler Whale. After that you can utilize both Yubels to go into the new Omni Negate, one of my new favorite cards, Wild Wrath. One Nightmare Throne gave us Ambler Whale, the Omni Negate, the Reborn Trap to go into Rage, and Rage in itself is basically 3 interruptions. You can link away one of the opponent's monsters into SP, SP has a banish effect on field and one additional banish effect if the opponent does anything. So it's basically spot removal for 3. Completely broken. Additionally, we now have the Promethean Princess, which is basically a pop if the opponent special summons anything. After the opponent special summons anything, you can target one monster they control and one fire monster you control to pop both of them and reborn the Promethean Princess, which is completely great if you add that to all of the other stuff we already have. Since we hide a lot of interactions in the graveyard, a lot of board breakers aren't effective against us anymore. Cards like Super Polymerization, Dark Ruler, Droplet, they don't do as much anymore against our board because the only thing that's live currently on the board is the Omni Negate. All the other stuff is in the graveyard, so it's very difficult to effectively break the board. It's kinda similar to Snake Eyes now. The interactions are layered on the board, in the graveyard and maybe 1 or 2 hand traps in the hand, so there isn't exactly one board breaker that clears everything. That sounds great and it's definitely way more powerful than the version previously, so why aren't we just playing her? Just imagine that scenario. You have used up all of your interruptions, your opponent has nothing on board, maybe one dead card in hand and he just passes. But you have the princess on the field, which means we are now fire locked and we can't really play. I mean, we can reborn the Ambler Whale, but even if the Ambler Whale has a little bit of a stats up like he has now, it's nowhere near lethal, and besides Shavara, we actually don't have any good fire monsters that can play under Princess. Even though the situation that the Princess alone is on the field and your opponent just doesn't do anything with her is very rare, the chance that it can happen is something we have to talk about and definitely a downside. Still, if you think this version is better than the other variants, I would agree with you. The resilience against so much stuff is something while you play the Princess you learn to appreciate. Like I mentioned, I really like the Promethean Princess, so I thought to myself, what can we do to solve the firelock problem? Luckily there are solutions, even though they aren't exactly perfect. One example being Major Chronicle. If you follow the 2-card combo that beats Nip using Major Chronicle I showcased in my How to Beat Nip Yubel Academy video, you can later on utilize Major Chronicle to get rid of the Promethean Princess. Let me show you what I mean by that. First off, we link away Shavara and one Yubel into Rage, and then, like previously, the Shavara will set us one chamber to later on revive the Rage. By using Leftover Yubel and the Rage, we can link into the Promethean Princess again. We use her effect to rebond the Shavara to then go into the Emblem Wave. So we basically did the combo that beats Nip while utilizing the Promethean Princess. And now, if you remember every effect Major Chronicle has, you can remove 4 counters from it to destroy 1 card on the field non-target, and yes, you can destroy your own cards. Since Major Chronicle will always in this combo have 5 to 6 counters on it, at the end of the combo, you can always pop the Princess if needed. So this is one possible solution, just utilize Major Chronicle. There are 2 more reasonable solutions to this. One is of course to just play any Fire Link monster. One example is of course Heater. But I just simply do not want to, since our extra deck is already extremely tight, and to be honest, I want to keep every card you see right now, so that wasn't an option for me. But in theory, if you do not have attachment issues like I have with my extra deck, you could cut any card and just put in 1 Heater. That's one way to solve the Firelock problem. The last one is a little bit weird, but it's a possibility, so I wanted to include that. You can try to use your Yubel monsters to out the Princess. You can use the Princess to rebond the Emblem Whale and then just tribute summon over it. You can either try to keep 1 Yubel monster in hand, or in the following turn while the Princess is on the field, you can just search one with Nightmare Pain. Really important, just do that if you already have a strong game plan, since you lose a lot of value from it. It's a possibility though. Did you know that 1 Dark Beckoning Beast actually gives you access to the Princess? Let me show you. We start by normal summoning the Beckoning Beast. It's basically the Unchained combo but with a little twist on it. We add 1 Dark Beckoning Beast, then we link off the 1 Dark Beckoning Beast into Almirage, and you already see it, Almirage is a fire monster. So we can use the opening to basically discard 1 blank card and rebond the Dark Beckoning Beast. Now we utilize the extra normal summon to summon the other Dark Beckoning Beast, and we go into Yama to add us 1 Shavara, just because why not. After that we just link away everything into the Princess and use the Princess to rebond the Almirage. Then we go into Emblem Whale, and just like that you can make with 1 Dark Beckoning Beast basically a Princess plus Emblem Whale and Shavara in hand. Do with that information what you want. Is it better than Rage? Probably not, depending on the matchup maybe, but I just wanted to show that. I will definitely test her further. I do think she has potential. It feels great to play her, the endboard has way more resilience and strength in general, so that's the main reason why I wanted to show you that, to update you more or less. I have already played so many real life duels with the post-legacy stuff, and my fun is at an all-time high in this game. I really do hope you share the same amount of fun as I have with this deck. It only gets better from here on. See ya.